Welcome to the first episode of the Modernity Minecraft LP. Now, I'm trying to do a high energy intro here for the first episode, and you hear this really subtle, pretty music in the background. That's not quite the vibe I was going for, but I guess it works. There are a few things I want to talk about because it is the first episode, so I want to do the proper introduction to the series. And also, I want to get into what I built off camera. So really everything that you see here is all I've done so far. I really wanted to get to a stage where I had all the different materials to work with before I started building. So other than this, I just have a bunch of little starter farms like you see up there. That's Nambon's General Mob Farm. Over there is Doc M77's Iron Farm that he showed off in his Hermitcraft episode. Honestly, I don't know if the music is going to work for this at all. I thought I could just, naturally use the Minecraft music, but every time I fly over in this area, it feels like the elytra don't lose their momentum, so I want to smash in the ground there. So over here you can hear these guys. This is my little starter area, and everything that I have other than the logs is over here. This is where the iron farms are. They all collect in the center, and then the lumber mills over there. I had these things, which are Ilmengo's melon and pumpkin farm, and that's what I was using for emeralds. Now I have a raid farm, though. So, yeah, we do have a raid farm, a wither skull farm, a gold farm, a bunch of different farms, and most of those are actually designed by ENX04. You know what I'm supposed to be holding this. But it is nice to have something nearby, so I still use the melons and pumpkins. We're going to need to get a better one, a better solution for XP, like later on. A better item to trade, because these things require tons of crafting. I haven't done tons of AFKing at this point, but we do have two double chests full of shulker boxes, basically, and we also have a few beacons from the Wither Skull farm, which was ENX04's. And this was designed by, I believe, someone called MD. It was a tutorial I followed. It was like the what's it called? Scaffolding based one. I really hate scaffolding based mob farms, by the way, because I get so paranoid as I'm building them. Most of the farms that I built were from ENX04, Nambon, Ilmango, Doc M, you know. But for this episode, and probably for most episodes after this, the main thing I want to do is show off what I've built so far, and we might actually get to show off those other starter farms organically later on throughout the series. But it's kind of actually a good thing that this is raining, because this is all designed to look like it had just rained, and there's all these pools of mud, and this whole yard is kind of muck. And yeah, it's kind of, you hear, you can see that the mud is getting all over the trucks and the machinery. At all of these different industrial areas, I definitely want to have heavy machinery, and I just started by the way, just swapping out blocks with mud. That's how I was texturing the wheels. Also, right now it's green. I don't have access to honey just yet because I haven't built the bee sanctuary, the apiaries or whatever. Um, so you'll have to tell me, do you think this would be better if it was bright orange? I think I'm going to leave this one green and those green. I might change that back to bright orange too. If you listen closely, you can also hear that I added in some engine noises to our machines. So if you're close by, just get a little bit of that sound. Also, um, we added some exhaust uh, just to try to add a little bit more life to these builds. That was really the logic. I mean, if you see heavy machinery, to me, I was just spending time around here and realizing, if you see the heavy machinery, then you kind of expect to hear some engine noises and you expect to see some exhaust. The stillness was just not quite sitting right with me. So I decided to add in some of those extra details, and we'll probably be using those details in the future when we build more of these things. This is a mecha suit that's designed to be able to like lift logs, and it has this precision saw blade up there, and the big one for the big jobs. And it's designed to be to scale for like player size, and it has the nice face on the front. There we go. Do it like this. No. We can also climb in the cabin with the iron golem. There's just enough space for him to chill around in here. Let's just sleep to try to get rid of this rain. Okay, so yeah, my logic with this has been, I've been learning that it's a lot like the book If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. You know, like if you see mud on the ground, then you kind of need to show that there's mud on the tires. You know, if you see, you know, if you have a lumber mill, like where you're, sawing up a bunch of logs, you're probably going to have tons of sawdust. I'm not sure if I'm happy with this configuration, by the way. I might get rid of like these three in particular. I just didn't want to go all the way over to the storage system and grab a few more of these slabs. So I've been procrastinating that. But yeah, you see the sawdust, and you're probably going to have big saw blades. You know, if you see a conveyor belt, it has to go someplace. And if it goes someplace, you have to have these, crates to collect it, and then you have to have things to actually move the crates, and then you got to have roads so that the vehicles that move the crates can actually drive on them, and then you also ultimately have to have other places that are destinations, um, you know, for the trucks to go to. And that's been the logic that I've been following so far. By the way, I should show off um, some of those other places because we're right here on the outskirts of the jungle biome. This is like my favorite biome in the game, by the way, the sparse jungle. I think it's just amazing how like you have this dynamic hilly terrain and the bright green grass and all the vegetation and everything. It's just really cool building here. But yeah, we're gonna have this over here. This is moving closer to the center of the biome. I'm probably gonna build. I haven't decided if I'm gonna put the storage system here or the like a workshop where we can store our planks. And then we have this. This is like the center of the biome, and I think let's just try to load it all in. I love how you can see the mist like in the trees. We're gonna put like a big modern mansion in this area, I was thinking. So we might want to put the storage system here. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. For storage so far, you can see we have our planks stacked up in these crates, but we're not actually storing the planks here. We're storing logs here. In fact, that was the main reason I built this whole building, was just to have a place to store my logs, because I'm trying to follow the BOO philosophy for storing items, and that is, I mean, this is not like the best example, but I wanted to incorporate the storage into the decorations of the builds. As you can see, we have some shulker boxes full of logs. We got a few stacks of all the different log types. I farmed some more than others, and then I realized, oh, this is a pain. Like, we need a functional place to actually farm all the different log types. So we have these are the single blast chambers that I've been using mostly. Um, I guess I should just demonstrate this. I'm still loading up all the tools in this area. We got this, like, these workspaces, bunch of different storage, or shearies. I always name things like that, by the way. Shovey, Silky, Axie, Booties, Leggies, Elytra. Like, for some reason, I just can't help myself. I guess we do have an end chest over here already, so that's nice. I guess we don't need to worry about that, but yeah. Oh, and we need one piece of TNT for this. Actually, we don't need the hoe. I don't know why I thought we needed the hoe. Because, well, we're supposed to use the hoe. We go around the outside and get all the saplings because it has Fortune 3. Oh yeah, clearing out the center. That's what I was thinking. And then you just place the TNT there. And you should get just about a stack every single blast. Yeah, that time it was exactly a stack. And these things work exactly the same way. You just have to grow them on the right block type. This is not dumb, by the way. Like, there's all sorts of little details. Like, look over there. I still haven't added the deep slate on those little details there. Got to detail the whole path around this, like the single tree farm. And I have to detail this whole area. I've just been, kind of painting in broad strokes with the different blocks, and then going in and adding all the different, details after the fact. The lumber mill itself is based on the lumber mill in Battle Nations, and this is really the only angle that you see in that game. Like, you can see the saw blades, you can see this sort of weird thing. You can see the side of the building because it's just a 2D game. It's been a learning experience. Like, I feel like I didn't pay enough attention to the overall silhouette when I was designing it, which created a ton of problems. I ended up having to tear things down and build them up over again multiple times until I actually got it the way I liked it. So I'm going to try to pay more attention to that in the future. By the way, this lever here just activates the bone meal farm. And the whole point of this is that we can leave the bone meal farm running as we're farming trees. You see the smokestacks start pouring out more smoke. This is Il Mango's bone meal farm. Oh, that's yeah. Anyway, it's the same one that Doc M used in his Hermitcraft series, and Il Mango made a tutorial about it. We also have extra space for shulker boxes in here. Um, Other than the single tree farms, we also have this, which is the setup that Zazuma Void showed off in his Hermitcraft video, where when these things were just introduced. It's a pretty slow manual farm, but it is a very, you know, repetitious process. So how do we go down here? We go down here. We just do this. I just added some simple automation that we can go up to the top and mine our way down. Because all the logs go through the middle, which is what Zazuma Void realized, and that's the whole, premise here. And we also have the most powerful tree farm that I've built is Ethos Tree Farm. For the 2x2 variants, we can use this one for the dark oak logs and for the spruce is mainly what it's for. And this one just has all the timings to blast the trees. You can't use it for the jungle though, because the vines get in the way. So I just made sure to have all this extra space for growing jungle trees and manually mining them. And you can also use this space for harvesting saplings from other tree types. Before all of the different tree farms are fully functional, we're going to need to finish the greenhouse, which is where we're going to store all the saplings. We're also going to have some other farms there. We're going to have a spot for farming mushrooms there, I think. I haven't collected all the materials for it. All these materials here are specific to like this build, so we're going to have to like get set up to do that. And I might actually have to do that later. I don't know if we can show that on camera. But yeah, the greenhouse is going to have a farm for the azaleas. It's going to have like a moss farm. Because the moss farm, did I turn that off? I think I did. Yeah, I turned it off. It's going to have a moss farm that does not get converted into bone meal. And we're also going to have a spot for the fungus. I don't think that we're going to have a flower farm here, though. I think that we're going to just do the flower farm in the flower forest. Spawn is over in this direction, and there's a flower forest over there, so we might want to do the farm there. So, yeah, the greenhouse is going to be... Is there a chicken down there? This place is kind of dangerous. Yeah. The greenhouse is going to be, like, over here. We're also going to have... Over in this plains biome, we're going to have a quarry with some more big machinery. And that's where we're going to do our mining, and it's also where we're going to store a lot of our stone and things like that. And, little by little, we will be moving all of our items from that main, riverside base camp and distributing them across the entire base. So it's going to take quite some time. Another thing that's going to take a lot of time is, we can actually look at that ender chest. I'm going to use Ethos shulker box system. I can show that off what I've started in a creative world, actually. I'm in my test world, and there's another kind of storage system. Like I said, we were going to follow BOO's philosophy, but there's another thing that I want to use, because we're going to use BOO style bulk storage, distributing the whole, all our items across the whole base. But we're also going to want to have access to, like, really quick access to all the different items. And so we're going to use Ethos shulker box system for loading up all the items into the end chest. And this takes a lot of time. You can see that this is what it looks like in orange, by the way. I built this up in creative first, but I did build a mech up in survival. Yeah, I think we probably want this one to stay orange. Maybe have a mix of the different variants, I don't know. But yeah, this one takes a lot of time because it's not as simple as just like loading all the different like item types into the shulker boxes. You actually have to make decisions about what you want to prioritize. So it's just going to take a lot of time to first of all get all the items to actually load in here. Like you need all the different wool colors, but then if you're also going to store carpet in here, you don't have enough spaces left to have every single carpet type. So you only need to figure out the ones that are like the most common, and you figure out like okay, do I store sand in with the glass, or do I store it with hold on, in with all the different you know earth types, or maybe I should just have stone variants in one and maybe all the different dirt variants in another. It's like I'm not sure how Etho categorizes it. I wasn't able to find like a full tutorial on his channel. I have to either look harder for that, or I have to um you know complete this on my own, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. And then once I do complete it, we have to spend a lot of time playing around with it. So this is, hold on, I'm still getting used to running. So this is going to be a weekly series. I'm going to try to put as much time into this as possible to try to make it, a good series. I also wanted to say that this is not a random seed. I scouted this seed to make sure it had some place that I wanted to build in, near spawn. Like I said, spawn is just over there. I guess we could fly over there. We got this big lake here, which we're probably going to build a rail across all the way over to spawn. And spawn should just be over in a little forest. Like this is the spawn forest. And every time I die, I end up in this cave right here. I always end up in this cave. Like right there. Over that direction we have our cold biomes, our dark oak forest where we got the saplings, and then over here we got a village. And this is where we got our first villagers. Over in that direction is the flower forest I was talking about. Oh, yeah, this is where the portal to the nether ceiling just randomly happened to come out. Hopefully there's not like a creeper that wandered in here or something. I think that could happen. But yeah, we got our Wither Skull farm over in that direction, and our gold farm over there. And this was the AFK point for our bartering setup. And you can watch, these are all ENX04 designs, so you can watch those tutorials if you are curious what they look like. To the north, we have our slime farm in a mangrove swamp. To the west, we have a desert and a coral biome thing in the warm ocean. And then to the south, we have the End stronghold. And we also have our raid farm in an ocean over there. And we have a pillager outpost. And we might get to see those in later episodes. I don't know. But all right, guys, that was my first attempt at recording this style of episode. I'm going to see what I can do with it in recording. But yeah, I think this is a good place to start. The next episode is going to be next Friday. And by the way, I decided what the catchphrase is going to be. You know how everyone has a catchphrase? My catchphrase, wow, I don't know what that was. My catchphrase is going to be embrace modernity. How great is that, right? So yeah, subscribe and embrace modernity, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.